and welcome back at you with another tutorial. This has been requested by some of you on the Patreon as well, so I'm gonna try to get this done right now, as well as talk about a few other things regarding this. Yeah, I'm mostly gonna be going over how to add those SVC like dialogues to your personal setup. And there's various ways you can do this, but I'm just gonna go over the one what I use easiest for me. Within the description, you're gonna have to look at the description. I'm gonna put the link there for the template and just this stuff to get you started with. So you're gonna have to get these portraits, or you really can use whatever you want, but I just use like these portraits because I fancy them and they're cool. But you can use whatever you want. You don't have to use portraits at all either. Anyways, so first thing you're gonna need to do is download the link in the description to get the dialogue template. Once you get that template, you are going to see this here. You're going to need Photoshop or some image manipulation program. The template is using Photoshop though, so how you get that is up to you, but I only can show you what I use. Okay, but as you see here, it has text 1, text 2, text 3, and that's each of the lines in the dialog box. So the first line, second line, third line, and then you basically just use those to form your sentences. So once you have that here, this part is easy. All you do is write the text into each line, and that's it for that. So we're gonna go here and look at what the Night is Long has written already. So these guys are working hard writing these dialogues for you guys to entertain you. And I also want to add on, I'm gonna make a video like those SVC videos where they show all the dialogues. I want to do it to help inspire them and basically just to help everyone improve. So if you guys are experts or feel as though you know your lore and stuff, like, you guys are welcome to join in on the fun on this, as well as critique it. But we're just gonna look at some of these that he has written right now and proceed on with this tutorial. So this is a good format as well if you want to start writing. Send it to me and I'll do the rest. But first is Ryu. So here's his script right here. Long time no see, comrades, blah blah blah. But anyways, here's the script. So this is what I have people do who are interested in doing the writing, because some people just enjoy it, you know what I mean? So you just write it on a text file, and then all I would have to do, or you in this case, you would just have to go and copy it like this, and let's go back to the template. Put it over here, and you paste it. But you see how it goes farther than that text one line? Then you just bring it around. Delete that, and then you save it like this. So I've already done this step, so I'm just doing it again to show you, because I already have all of the images saved already. But that's literally it. That's all you do as far as the text goes. You use the template, you insert your text, you save it, and you index it, obviously, unless you're using 1.1. But if you're not using 1.1, you need to index it. So you can use Photoshop index it. I also have GIMP here opened up just to show you. For those who don't have Photoshop, GIMP is available for everyone. It's free. It's also a good alternative if you don't want to pay for Photoshop, or you can always get the older versions of Photoshop because they are available. So whatever works for you. But like I said, I'm just going to show you GIMP here. One second. So GIMP here, all you would do with that is you just go right here to where it says image, go to mode, and you go to index. But let me see right here, I'm gonna open up some of the text that I already saved already. So I'm gonna go to my dialogue templates folder and get the ones that I just saved here. Okay, so see the one we just saved right here. So I'm gonna go to image, mode, index, and I'm gonna convert it, and then I'm gonna save overwrite, and that's it. Go to the next one, index it, convert, and save it. Does it show the drop down on the screen? I can't see. Okay, well anyways, that's literally all you do. You go to image, same thing as Photoshop, you just index it and then you save it. And then once we do that, we're gonna go back here to Fighter Factory. And then now that you've done that, all you have to do now is insert your sprites. So I just have a setup to where I always have the portrait, then the black box, and then the actual script. Because eventually I figured, like, you don't have to use this, because you can use whatever you want. Like eventually I wanted something like a, something more unique to the entire HUD or whatever, you know what I mean? So you can, like I said, you can make it look however you want to. But so you see, and then I also number mine based on we're gonna also look at this as well. Let me see if that's right. Make sure that's on the screen. Okay, so basically here, this is gonna be included as well. All you guys will need to do, it's not gonna be as long as this one, because this is just an example of something I was using already. All you're gonna have to do is go down to these and you just copy it and paste it. And then what you're gonna do for yours, all you have to do is, it starts with yourself. So it starts with the mirror match, right? Unless you don't want that, of course. So it starts with 2, and then basically you just keep on going to all the characters that you have, or all the ones you want to activate against. So Ryu, right? So I want this to work against Ryu because I already have this set up. Just I'm saying, like for you, if you started this on your own, start with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you just keep on going to whatever, what order you want to assign it. I have it in the specific order because it's team based on the project I was working on. So I just have it in a specific order that I want it to work in. But it doesn't really matter. That's just like some OCD type stuff. But anyways, Ryu is already right here. But if he wasn't, all I would have to do like this. Oops. I could just do this. Like if this wasn't here, if you were trying to insert a new name, you would just copy it and then change it. And then continue the numbers going down. That's literally it. Oops. So now it's on there. So this means if he faces against this opponent with this name, that specific dialogue is going to trigger. But what we have to do next is we have to add it to the intro, because if you don't add it to the intro, then it's not going to come up. So we go to wherever your intro is. If you have a special intro or whatever, and then you're just going to copy this right here. It's also going to be right there. So you just copy this. This is just the helper that's going to activate after the intro is over, and then the dialogue will start. So all you have to do is make sure this is here and copy it, paste it, and then that's literally it for that part. And then you have to make sure that it's on both of the characters though. I believe I already did it for him, but probably not. Okay, actually I did. So number 13. So the numbers don't have to be exactly the same. Like I said, I just have it in a specific order what works for me, so I know, because I just like that order. So what I'm gonna do is, for me and my system, how it, basically like I said, is to control the order. Ryu is number 6. So what I do is I'm gonna go over here, and now I'm gonna go to this right here, the insert a sprite, insert the dialogue that we just made. And then you have to do this right here. So, well, this, you don't have to do this, but again, this is just something I do. Doing this means it's just so you don't create new colors in your index. So I'm gonna force it to group 9400, which is what I created specifically for the dialogue, because I don't want all these extra numbers in my index. So I just make it so all the colors are shared with that same one. So I'm gonna just do that, force it, and now we see that the sprites are inserted. So what I'm gonna do now is go to the image editor, and you don't have to do this way. You can do it in any other way, and you can't see this right now. Let me see. I got to open up a window so you can see it. Give me 1 second here. But yeah, I'm just opening the image editor, and what I'm gonna do is cut it. And I'm gonna cut it. So wait, let me see here. Where is it? Right here. So you see how there's all this extra space or whatever? I'm gonna cut it so I won't have to be like trying to get the exact freaking vowels for like the dialogue to be in a specific area. So I'm gonna hit, I think it's Control, Shift, and C, which is cut. And you see I just cut it, then I'm gonna put Control S to save it. So you see now it's just all the extra space is gone. And I'm gonna do it with the other one too. And save it. And then I'm gonna change the axis. That's what I mean. Like if you don't do this, then you're gonna have to guess the axis and all of that. But now I can just put it back to 0 and 0. And then I'm gonna save my SSF. Okay, let me see here. Oops, wrong one. Okay. So now that I did that, we're almost there, literally. Now it's in there. Let me add reuse now. So because Ryu Zangief is number 13, basically what I do is each number I assign it like this, and you see it starts with 60. It's just because I like to have like space between each of the stuff so I know where it is. Like I said, it's just the order thing. So I'm gonna go all the way to the end. But you see how these are some of the leftover things that I've been using in the videos. And these are some of the victory, you know, when they win. Pretty much you're doing the same thing with that as well. So for the dialogue stuff, same thing. Okay, so I'm gonna insert those right here. Oh wait, I gotta remember. I almost forgot. I gotta go and index these because I did not index reuse. Okay, let me see here. Now I open those, and now I'm just gonna index and save them. That's literally it. But like I said, the only thing that you have to do is write your own script, and that's it. Because otherwise, all you have to do is use the template, copy and paste. That's it. You're done. But depending on your conversation, you will adjust the times and all of that. We'll get to that as well. Okay, so now that I did that, I saved them. Now I'm gonna add them to the SSF. And remember, because we already have the stuff written down already, you know, then all we have to do is add it. So you could do the same thing right now. That's why I said you guys could be doing that right now, just writing all the script now, and then we could just add it later. Well, that's what some people do. But now that I saved those, now I can insert them now. So same thing as before, just cutting it and saving it. Eventually, hopefully, they're gonna implement the way so we don't have to do the sprite based way, but this is just for right now because in the future we could possibly not need to do this anymore. But this is just for right now, you know, who knows when that'll be. Anyways, now that I did that, I already have my names and everything assigned already. He already has this in his intro state. He already has the dialogue in his intro state. So now I'm going to open the animation and go all the way to the back. And this is also something you're gonna have to copy. So we're gonna look at both of these. So these are the black lines, right? When the black line comes in, all you're gonna have to do is follow instructions and just copy this, okay? Copy and paste it. And yes, this is a modified version of one that I got from Mr. Ansetsuken, but I modified it because his was more like SVC Chaos with a bar at the bottom, the bar at the top. You can have it like that as well. And actually, I'm gonna try to put his as well. But I made modifications so it works on any length, any screen type, things like that. And then I also made it so each character, the way it works is, so you know how when you're like you have a different color, basically it changes. That's how I wanted it. Depending on what color you pick, it changes. That was the main thing that I wanted. So that's why I had to come up with this way. But yeah, you see if you change the color, it changes too. And I just thought that was so cool. And I wanted it like that. So you're gonna copy the blank lines, and then remember this number right here, how it starts off 902 20, right? 2 is this same number right here, 2. So that's how you remember it, and it just goes up. You see it's 20, then it's gonna go to 30, then it's gonna go, well, whatever, it'll keep on going up, same thing. That's how you remember it. And then another thing is for this, it needs to be like that, but for this one, okay, no, actually it's right. So Ryu is number 6. So what I'm gonna do is, all I gotta do is enter the same thing. So literally all you have to do is copy it. So copy this one, and if Ryu is number 6, what does that mean? That means that all I have to do is change this 3 to a 6. Change the name so I remember who it is. And then here is the thing with depending on what character it is and what ports you were using, because some characters like from SVC, they have the different expressions, so you could have it like that if you wanted to, and you could just change between portraits. But most of these characters, they only have one, so the ones that are not in those games, so I just use one unless they have more than one. And then you're basically, here is when it slides in, and then when it's at 0, that means when it's on the screen in that spot wherever you designate it to. So here's the part that you're really gonna have to do on your own, right? Because depending on how long you want it to sit there on the text, or how long your conversation is, this is for you to decide at this point. But for me, I have a number that I use just to be consistent. Let me see. Well, yeah, that's literally all it is. And then you see also something that I also had started doing is making it so, you know, they're shadows. So when someone is speaking, they're lit up. When they're not, it's a shadow. But you see how SVC, the characters have different expressions, so that's how you can do that. And I also look at one of these as well, the ones that are already done. But anyways, like I said, the times don't really matter, it's up to you, but these are just something I use. Depending on who talks first and everything, that's what you're gonna do. So looking at the conversation that we were looking at, Zangief says something first, a long time no see, and then Ryu responds with likewise, which means that he's saying something next. So going with that, he's gonna say something first, so he's gonna say something, and then when he's not speaking, he's gonna be, you know, in the shadow to show that he's not speaking. Then he is speaking, then he isn't. And then this is gonna go along with how long your text is, right? And I just, like I said, the times don't matter. Again, it's up to you. And then this just means that that's over. That means that this is the last one in the animation. It's not gonna change from this, because Ryu is the person who says something last. So you see, he says something last, so he's gonna be, his last one is in shadow. So now you see the time is 5. So if you guys have noticed, you see it's 301, 2, 3, 4, 5, 295. So that's 300. That's how I got a 300 right there. So 5, 295. This is where he says something first. And remembering that order, that's why I use this order system, just so I could easily, you know, designate what goes where. It'll be easy. I don't have to be looking through everything. So boom, says something, long time no see. This is him waiting. So you put whatever, you just make it empty, and this is the time that he's waiting to say what he's gonna say. So boom, this is waiting for while Ryu is talking, whatever, and then this is gonna be Zangief's next line. So there's his next line, and then because he doesn't say anything after this, that's it. You just end it with that. Now let's go to Ryu. This is from that one Ryu video I did where, yeah, so it's not gonna be like in order like the other one was, but anyways, I'll do the same thing. actually don't need these because you only need these two. The dialogue portrait and what they're saying, because the other way he had it was so one character controls both persons' conversations, but here each characters within each of the SSFs there's the script for each of them. But like I said, I'm gonna put his way as well, like if you guys want to see how to do it that way, but this way just works easier for me. So again, like I said, I'm just changing this so I'll remember it. And remember, he was number 13, so 13. And that's literally all you do. You just keep on going up with the numbers. You can have as many as you want. So because Ryu was saying something second, right? I'm gonna do this. Add the shadow to him. You could use whatever value you want, but I just use this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the time where he's waiting to say something, and then boom, now he's gonna say something. And then here's the thing that it's up to you again, but I'm gonna look at the conversation real quick. Let me see here. Oh yeah, I forgot to change the screen, my bad. But again, all I was saying before is that just the numbers going forward, you're literally, that's it. You just continuously go forward with each number. That's all you do. So it's not hard at all. So even if I didn't change it back right there, that's literally it. It was that simple. And what else was I doing? I was doing the time. So yeah, like 5, you see it right here. 295. Just the second that it takes for the stuff to come in, like the black bars and everything, once they're on the screen, that's when the text shows up right there. And then once he's done saying what he's saying, it's gonna go away, and then reuse is gonna appear. And then once reuse disappears, that's when the next thing that he says comes up. Once he's done saying that thing, then it's gonna disappear again, so that reuse can show on the screen, so they're not clashing at the same time. That's the whole point behind doing the time, so that it's not overlapping each other, you know what I mean? So it looks like a conversation and it's switching text, and by manipulating the shadows you can make it look like someone's having a conversation, with the portraits dimming and undimming, things like that. So again, I'm gonna just go over this real quick. Coming in, that same thing, I looked at the text, that's when he's not saying anything, he's saying something, he's done saying something. Where was I was doing his. Okay, so yes, the reason why it is important for you to see this, because depending on what they're saying, so he says, likewise, it would seem you haven't changed at all. Let's have a match to see if you improved from our last bout. And it has an exclamation mark at the end. So for the characters that do have these extra portraits, it's up to you. You can like write your text with the portraits in mind, you know what I mean? Because obviously if I use this expression right here, it doesn't really fit with what he was saying, you know what I mean? And I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that, but sometimes I do manipulate that, so it just looks like it goes right with what they're saying. So for Ryu here, he's probably gonna be looking like this. It would seem you haven't changed at all, or actually even this one will be fine. Let me see, I'm just leave it at this one. Let's not get too serious. So wandering warrior Ryu, and then he says something. So now that he's talking, I'm gonna switch this. So that's how I know that he's talking. Now he's not. Now he is. The last thing he says. What is the last thing he says is, we'll see about that. Let's begin. Oh, actually, I'm gonna do it this way. We'll see about that. Let's begin can be this one. And this one be this one. Alright, so that's it for that. And now I'm gonna go to the text portion. So 300, because that's the waiting time for Zangief to be done with what he's saying. So actually, let me change this. So he's saying something, the time, again, the time's up to you. You can change it however you want, how long you want it to be. When he's not saying something, like they're waiting for them to be able to say the next thing, and then he says the last thing. So, and that's that. So okay, now that we did all that, now let's open it up and see. Give me a second. Which one? Okay. Hold up 1 second. Alright, so this is something that just was with what I was using, so I'm gonna go and adjust this really quick. Hold up. It's because depending on, for example, if you're using Mugen, it'll be different, like the width and everything. And Ikemen Plus is also different, so I'm gonna change it to where the one that I had it as before. Oh yeah, and we're also gonna look at those things as well. But basically, all your positioning and everything is also gonna be dependent on what resolution you're using. Basically, is what I'm saying. So you're gonna be having to adjust this to make the portrait the right size and all of that. Actually, yeah, I already had a good one right here. So let's just take a look at this one right here. So this second portion is where everything shows up. The black lines, the portraits, the text. So here is where you control where it shows up. So like I said, you can position it any way you want, however you want to, where you want the text to appear, etc. Here is where we see the same variables. You see 2, 3, 4, whatever. These are how long you want those things to stay up before they disappear on the screen. So 600, 1600, whatever. These are just the times, how long you want it to stay on the screen. That's what that is. So for him, because I did add another one, I'm gonna add another name here. 13. And I'm just gonna put a high time just because, so you can see. I didn't change the name right there, but we know that's for Zangief. But yeah, you change all of this stuff so you remember, because some conversations that you write may be longer than others, you know, some may be, you know, extended or whatever, but you can control the length here. That's what this second portion is for. It's like once it acknowledges that the conditions have been met, then it goes on to this part. Okay, so let's do the same thing with him. He was 6, right? So I'm gonna just change it same time. Then I'm gonna open it back up. Hopefully it's aligned, but yeah, it took me forever to freaking get this all aligned perfectly, because like I said, I'm using Ikemen Go right now. So when I was using Ikemen Plus, I had to change it. Then I had to use Ikemen Go, I had to change it. You know, I had to keep on changing it because depending on the resolution you're using. Let me change it. Okay, so we can see now that it's working, but it's just not aligned. But you see the text and everything is working. So all I will have to do now is adjust the portrait size. So give me a second, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just edit this real quick. Hey, let me look at it again. Hold up real quick. So I'm gonna make his smaller. And then I'm gonna bring his up some. But like I was showing you guys before, a lot of this is just going back and forth so you get it perfect, like however you want it to be. See, I'm gonna try to raise his up some. Oops, wrong one. But you see, now I made his a little bit smaller. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Like I said, you would just keep on doing it until you get it in the right position that you want it. But as you see here, now it's working. And that's literally it. You see, when he's not talking, it's lit up. When he is talking, when the person was talking, I did that on my own just because I wanted it to, be a better indication, like so you know who is speaking. You could have like in your thing, you could add like an extra additional text that has the names of who's speaking or whatever. But like I said, never look at things at face value. You know what I mean? Like however you wanted to do it, you can adjust it accordingly. But you see, that is working. And then let me see here. I think this one I already did as well. But anyways, like, let me see if it works right. Yeah, just so you see. So same thing from the videos. That's all I'll be doing. Like for example, you can combine it with special intros or whatever, what have you, or you can have it to where your special intro is what starts off your script. You know what I mean? Like what happens in the intro, that's what the characters will be talking about or whatever. But like I said, it's completely up to you. And another thing with this is like during this dialogue, you see you can have specific themes playing. That's how I have it for this. So obviously that theme, and because this is going over longer, like you could add whatever you theme you want, the music you want, have it last however you want, however long the conversation is. Obviously, this is prolonged just to show you this example. But anyways, you can have special, how like in KOF 14, how they got the specific things like that, same way. Wait, hold up. I don't think the dialogue is done, but let me see. I believe he has that theme as well, so you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, see? But yeah, you can have it so specific themes play during this. But that is pretty much it with that. So with that said, hopefully this helps you guys out. And sorry about the mistake earlier, but like I said, this is super easy. I'm gonna put everything there so you can see how to do it, and then you can just go back and rewind this to reference this video if you need to. That's all there is to it. Now you guys can put together your own stuff, have dialogues in your own games, your own projects, etc. So with that being said, in the comments, let me know, would you be interested in seeing videos similar to like the SVC Chaos ones where it just shows you like all the dialogue and stuff like that? More so, I want to do it to show you guys that there's people out here really working hard to write this script for you guys to enjoy and everything, and I don't feel like they always get they don't really get a lot of recognition. I usually do write the stuff that you see in the videos, and I haven't used any of this stuff yet, but eventually once we get to that point, once we're able to release something like complete, all of this stuff is going to be there. So if you're interested in helping just increase the overall quality of that, definitely hit us up and let me know what you think in the comments. Like I said, I would like to display all of these things that these guys are writing so you guys can help critique them, and we're just trying to improve, you know what it is. Like, we're not on some spite stuff, we're just doing this stuff for fun, all love, love for the series as usual. But yeah, you guys, hopefully this helps you out, and if I didn't go over something, let me know. If you have any other recommendations for tutorials you want to see, that is an incentive for supporting me, and I can help you out as well. So thank you guys, have a good rest of your day, and yeah, I want to see some more lower horrors, man. Let's go. All right, peace out, guys.